Aloha and welcome to Exploring Aerial Yoga. My name is Patrick Faris and I am coming to you from the Air House in Hilo, Hawaii, where I'm very grateful to Aerial Arts Hawaii for this amazing space where I am normally teaching different practices. Today I'm going to be sharing an amazing inverted bound ankle pose that is within my capacity. This is a dangerous pose. So this is not something that you should come at as a novice or just because you've done some aerial or you're interested in yoga that this is going to be easy. This is going to be very hard. Ullambita Pada Bandhasana. So Ullambita is our hanging concept. Pada, our feet, and the bandhas, of course, we have our hasta, we have our pada, we have mula, uddiyana, Jalantara, and of course those three lined up as the Maha Bandhas. Bandha is lock. So we can talk about this in places in our body where we may be locked, or when we are locking a pose. For example, our hands are hastas on the floor when we're in a handstand. That is really important to know where that point is going to be in your wrist, where your fingers are interacting to the floor. In aerial, of course, we do have our silks, which you can always do a box lock on the foot. That would be an example of a pada bandha, this foot lock. And we're going to be doing that in a hammock today. We're going to start up just standing, working through some box exercises. If you are not familiar with the plantar and the dorsal flex of the foot, this is again why this is an advanced form. If you are familiar, just recap. Plantar, the toes are pointed. It's kind of like our foot is a shovel that can dig down. Dorsal flex, our foot comes up towards us. It's much like the dorsal fin of a fish. I like to think of this as dancer foot and yoga foot, because these are kind of the two modalities of physical practice where you see these feet being used a lot. Working into the fabric, I am also going to be showing two different ways to come down. A walk down, which is going to be much safer, and a dynamic, which I know some of you yoga teachers out there are not going to like the idea of dynamics in yoga. However, all of life is yoga. So sometimes you might find yourself in a really nice tree pose and you just say, take that knee up and stamp it down. That's the idea of a dynamic move, something that has hatha, something that has force. So when we approach this, always make sure that you are working within your capacity. Your body and my body are different. Make sure that you are working within your strength. Make sure that you are working within your safety. You are responsible for all of your actions. I'm just demonstrating what the body could do if you have proper control. So we're going to make sure the fabric is as a hammock, hip height. Higher can be better. Lower, you might get close to the floor. So we're going to start in backpack for this first round. In the backpack, I'm just going to test my upper body strength. I really like my W ups. So elbows out. As I breathe in, I pull the body up to a seated position. As I breathe in again, I'm going to pull my body up to a standing position. When we stand in the fabric, we always make sure that the fabric is in the arch of the foot. No pressure in the toes on the fabric, no pressure in the heels on the fabric. The arch is the safe spot here. You can have both feet together, which is great for just a soft mountain pose. The feet are going to be kind of sandwiched together. Hands in front of you is nice if you feel you're going to fall back. Otherwise, just holding the fabric is the safest position here. Hands about throat height, that Jalantara lock here. And as we step out, not down, but out, you'll start to get into this classic box pose. The box pose should be a straddle. It shouldn't be a split. If you can do the splits, good for you. That's not in my capacity. But even if you could, we want that foundation that we are a box, a little bit of a star pose here. So if you feel comfortable here, we're going to go into the lock. You can test your strength coming down, softly coming down. For this lock, we're going to start with one foot in front, your choice. We're going to wrap it around, just like we're going through our flying tree. And instead of matching that into our calf or our thigh, we're going to take those toes through and push them down entirely. You're already feeling that fabric bind around the calf a little. So we're going to do that with the other foot. And take that foot forward, around, back, and then down. Just standing here, you can already feel the ankles opening up because you see the fabric is pulling the calves back. This means the big toes might get a little more crunched. You have to be active in those feet. You're going to grab the fabric, and again, the higher the grip, the better for this, as we keep that foot dorsal flexed, stepping up and out. You'll notice this is a lot easier because of that bind on the calf. I'm going to climb my hands up along with this, and then I'm in a nice box position, but you can see how the fabric is around my calves. So I'm going to take this from the side angle so that you can see what this looks like as we prepare to walk ourselves down. Those feet, you can see, are dorsal flexed. The fabric is in the middle of my foot, the arch, not the toes or the heels. I'm going to hold one fabric tight, about shoulder height, and then I'm going to take the other fabric, hand coming around through the center, grabbing the middle. So that fabric grab has got to be tight. The fabric grab up here has got to be tight. You can already see you're starting to sit back here. As we sit back entirely, we hold on tight. We keep those feet dorsal flexed. The fabric is going to slide over my calves as my upper hand on that pole slides down. You're going to feel one slide. You're going to feel the other slide. And keep those feet nice and tight. Walk down, keep those feet dorsal flexed. You're holding on to that center pole, but as long as your feet are dorsal flexed, you can let go. So here, you can just hang out. You can breathe. Maybe find a nice hold behind you. Such a release. And your ankles are the only thing here really doing work. Now, if you want to release one foot and feel this a little deeper, you can very gently point one toe. If you're close to the ground, you can always hold the ground. Don't push yourself up, otherwise you might loosen the other foot. Keep that other foot dorsal flexed, and you can see we're here. Maybe into a nice tree pose. To come out, reach up, grab that fabric, pull the body up, and then all we do for the other foot is point the toe, and it'll unwrap. As you can see, I'm already working up a sweat from that, so even though it's just a small little group of muscles you're working, your entire body's weight has got to be held up by that. You want to make sure that you are working again within your capacity, within your strength, your ability, your body. So I'm going to come through the dynamic drop here, which some of you aerialists more are going to like for a performance piece, but you will feel this anxiety, this lock in that Jalantara space. As all drops are dangerous, please again make sure that you are working within your capacity. You are responsible for all of your choices and all of your actions here. I'm going to reach high. I'm going to put one foot out. So just another way to step in that natural redistribution of weight. Other foot, maybe tap on the floor to keep us from swinging. As I step high, pull those elbows in. Just a good recap to get that nice center of gravity as we pull ourselves up. Turn myself a little more to the camera here. And one foot comes around, down, and through. The other foot around, back, down, and through. And I'm going to step up again to that nice straddle where I'm locked. And here is where you want to make sure that you have proper height, proper clearance, but most of all, proper strength, that you are working within your safety, within your capacity. We hold one fabric high, reach down for the other fabric, whichever you would like. I think you can get a better see here. And then keeping those poles touching. You want to make sure that the foot is going to catch. You drop. You can release one foot again, maybe play here, and when you're ready to come out, grabbing that fabric, pointing the toe, and the foot will come out. As again, you can tell, I'm sweating. It is a wonderful physical challenge. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, subscribe, share. Mahalo. Namaste.